Hi, this is Izabel Florence, and you are listening to You Are Light podcast, a safe space where we talk about mental health and well-being. Hi, welcome to another solo episode. Today we're going to continue talking about loneliness. If you haven't listened to Loneliness Part 1, then just head to whatever podcast platform you're listening to. I shared it 2 weeks ago, and we focused on the advantage of connecting with a higher power, the fact that fearing loneliness is part of our biology and its survival and protection, and how to not feel inadequate in this feeling. Today we're exploring some other aspects of this topic, and the first one I want to talk about is the importance of understanding the most crucial relationship you have in your life is with yourself. And that whenever you feel you cannot find a very good friend to support you through your worries and fears, that friend can be yourself. I have in my life spent a lot of time by myself. And as a result of all this time, and as a result of a lot of self-reflection, I have come to a place where the person I seek the most support from is myself. I do not feel the need to share my sadness and my emotions with people unless I need support and help with understanding where it's coming from. If there is a feeling of being lost in an emotion or in a situation from which you cannot find a result or an understanding about it, it's very, very helpful to seek advice. But for the most part, I have come to a place in my life where I can give that support to myself, an emotional support. And this doesn't diminish the importance of people in my life, but I would very much like for you to have some of that power as well, for everyone to do so, because it makes the relationships in your life lighter. If you are constantly seeking from other people support, and if you are constantly expecting other people to pull you out of a darkness, there will be no space for lightness in these relationships. And there needs to be space for that. There needs to be space for humor, for laughter, for joy, for play in the relationships you have in your life. So I'm going to talk you through some of the things that have allowed me to find this support and friendship from myself to myself. First of all, I think it comes to looking at yourself as a person you really love and you really care for. Almost as if you were tricking yourself into thinking, this is my friend, this is my lover. How would I treat my best friend? How would I treat my lover? What would I want to do with them? And you can therefore create that loving relationship with yourself. So, for example, you love sharing food with the people that you love. You love going to a nice restaurant and taking your time with that person to have a glass of wine and turn off your phone in a beautiful location. Take your time to experience the food. Talk about the things that are bothering you or the things that are bringing joy to your life. Consider the fact that you can do this with yourself, and it will bring you a similar feeling of care and a similar feeling of being taken care of, being listened to. So practically, you take a journal and you go to your favorite restaurant and you have dinner by yourself. You take your time to experience the food, to experience the moment. You turn off your phone and you write the things that you would be talking to someone about. And you respond in the same way that a friend would respond in this writing. When I first moved to England and I would fear being by myself or fear the feeling of loneliness. If I knew it was safe, I would dive deeper into the feeling and into that reality to see what was on the other side. London is a very busy city. So what I have done in previous times is, okay, I'm scared of being lonely or feeling lonely. I'm going to take myself to a situation where I'm fully lonely, where my phone is not pinging, where I'm not talking to people online, where I'm not seeing people in the streets a lot. So I have taken myself to the countryside and I have experienced fully the silence and that space that is a scary space to be in. And that has led me to understand that it's not that horrible. It wasn't that bad. As you start to explore this space of silence and loneliness, you begin to understand who you are away from everything else and away from everyone else. Without the distractions, without the TV, without all the influences that we are experiencing in our daily lives, who are we? As you start to understand who you are, you start to fall in love with that person. You start to fall in love with spending time with that person. This is self-care. This is self-love. You have a true friend within you. This is the most important friendship. And if you cherish it and take care of it, it will bring you a lot of fulfillment. This is beautiful. You have a home that is your own, your body. You have a mind that is your own. I have so much gratitude for the intimate space I have for myself that is only my own. Nobody else can penetrate my mind. I remember as a child feeling so empowered to know nobody would ever know my thoughts. I could be shouted at, abused, manipulated, but I would always be the only one who could hear my thoughts. They are my own. My body is my own. My soul. These are the biggest gifts we have been given. So this is the relationship that is most important. This is the relationship we should really work on. This doesn't diminish the importance of other relationships in our lives. But as we work on ourselves, on our relationship to ourselves, on the mindset we have towards ourselves, our relationship to others becomes less foggy, less crowded with our own insecurities, with our own projections, with our own shadows. So I would suggest thinking of the thing that you love doing the most, whether that is going to dinner, going to the cinema, going to watch a play, going to a market, having a night in, going for a long walk, sharing a meal, exploring your sensuality with someone. Whatever it is, you can do it with yourself. You can take that time to mindfully explore that activity with yourself. We take so much time to care and to love others around us. Let's take some time for ourselves as well. Let's give some of that love to ourselves as well. And I know it's easy to forget, especially when you're in a relationship with someone you love. You want to give so much because it brings happiness. It brings joy to yourself to care and to give love to this other person. But we have to fill our own cup as well. Another thing that I want to point out when it comes to loneliness is our expectation for perfect relationships and friendships. We have been told time and time again by society and by the movies that we watch, the books that we read, the stories that we're told, that we should meet people and live happily ever after. This is a lie we've been told. Happiness is not permanent. It comes and goes. You can stay grateful for the feelings of sadness and anger because it means you're alive, but you won't be happy all the time. It's not possible. So we have to remember that there's no perfection in relationships or friendships. There is a line that we need to be aware of. How does this person make me feel? Do they support me? Do they love me? What kind of energy do I feel from them? Do you feel anxious when you receive a message from someone, or excitement? If you feel anxious, where is that coming from? From things the person does to you, or from insecurities that are coming from within you? That's how we understand whether we should keep someone in our lives or not. Your time is precious, and you have to choose the people that will be gifted with it. You have to be aware that it is a gift. Once we have understood whether we want people in our lives or not, whether we want to gift these people some of our time, then we also have to remember that different people give you different things. You cannot expect to receive everything you need from one person, whether that's a friend or a lover or a family member. You are a human being with different needs, and so you can seek to find those needs from different relationships and friendships. You might have a friend that fills your cup of playfulness. They are fun and exciting. And you might have another friend that fills your cup of exploration of the mind. Someone you have deep conversations with. Someone with who you explore interesting topics. Then you might have someone in your life that fulfills your emotional needs. They are emotionally available to you, and they allow you to feel what you need to feel while still supporting you. We all need different things from different people, and I think it's the opposite of selfish to not ask for everything that you need to be in one person. If you feel lonely, but you have enough friends and you're in a relationship, try to understand what cup is not full right now. What is it that you feel you are lacking? And then you can do something about it to find that person in your life. Is it that you need a mother figure in your life? Are you lacking that nurture? Do you need someone who's like a teacher to you or a guide? It's really important for us to understand ourselves and therefore understand what we need, so we don't expect everything from one person, or we don't expect something from someone that they cannot offer us. Now we have understood what it is that we need or what we're lacking. How do we find it? We have to be proactive. As we grow up, it's very easy to make friends. At school, you have friends in your class. You have a whole school of people. You have sports that you play. Maybe you have your neighbors. Maybe you have cousins. There is a plethora of people in your life that you can choose from. At university or college, you go on to living with loads of people. You have so many interactions in your daily life. But as adults, we don't necessarily have those obvious interactions available to us, especially if you don't work in an office, especially nowadays that a lot of people work from home. So we have to make an effort. One way you can do this is write down a list of your friends, your most cherished friends that you know you want to stay connected to, and make an effort to going back to this list every month and message the people you haven't in a while, the people that you value and love. Life gets really busy, and because you have forgotten to send a message to someone you love, doesn't mean you don't value them. This happens naturally, but if you know that you have to make an effort if you want to keep those relationships, then you need a method, you need a system. Also make it easy for people to say yes. Instead of messaging someone and saying, "Hey, when are you free? Let's do something. What do you want to do?" Make concrete plans and just invite everyone. It's less friction for them to be there. They don't have to make a lot of decisions. We also have to be proactive when it comes to making new friends as adults. People really believe that it's difficult to make friends when you're an adult, but I don't agree with that. We have to understand that we have something in common with everyone in the world. Make small conversations with the people in your life, the people that are in your life but are not your friends. Speak to strangers. It's not as scary as it sounds. When you go to a coffee shop, ask them how they are. Ask them what they're doing on the weekend. I find that the easiest way to start a conversation is by giving people a compliment. Not in a creepy way, not about themselves as a person. Don't be too intense. But saying something like, "Oh, I like your shirt. I love your shoes. Your style is so cool." Even small interactions like this dissipates the feeling of loneliness. That person will smile back at you if you compliment them, if you're not creepy. And that will fulfill a part of you that might be missing an interaction like that. We also have the internet nowadays, and that brings so many possibilities to meet new people. And you don't have to spend any money to do so. Look at free activities to do around your area. Check the website Meetup, which is so great. You literally meet people that have a common interest. Another thing that I think is really important for us to consider when it comes to loneliness and relationships and friendships is the fact that we have to open ourselves and be vulnerable to others to feel truly connected. Even though I understand the value that there is in dealing with my problems by myself, I also understand that when I actually tell my friends I'm struggling with something or ask for advice, they feel trusted and empowered. So the friendship becomes more connected. It becomes a deeper relationship. So maybe a feeling of loneliness is coming not from being alone, but from how connected you feel to the people around you. And I know it can be scary to be vulnerable or to be open, but it's also very fulfilling. And it makes people believe that they can be open with you as well. This takes any friendship to another level. I want you this week to reach out to someone. Even if you don't feel lonely, maybe someone else does. I hope you enjoyed the second episode on loneliness. I'll see you guys next week for a different topic. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. All the links are written down on the show notes, as well as resources for anyone struggling with their mental health. Don't forget to subscribe so you're notified when we release new episodes. Also, feel free to share our podcast with your friends and family. And if you'd like to get involved, explore our content, or support our work, you can be visiting our website www.yourlight.earth. That's yourlight.earth. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at u.r.light. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.